Jana tulienda Kagunga na Zashe. Tulitembelea. Yeah. So, yes, a long time ago. Well, you are looking good. Looking good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mama hajambo.
Hajambo.
Asante sana.
Yeah.
Mungu ambariki.
Amen.
This place.
Yeah.
Here, the water of the Lake Tanganika during Livingstone time, the Lake Tanganika was up to here. The water of the lake have been receding as years gone. Livingstone arrived here 1869, March. From Omanyamaland in Congo, the water was up to here. The probable cause of the lake receding are three. The first thing, rain, nothing. Forest, nothing. In Congo, is the Rukuga River is attracted the water from the Lake Tanganyika to River Congo and the Atlantic Ocean. This Lake Tanganyika is in Rift Valley. The time the Livingstone, Ujiji, was smaller town, was the 125 families only. Not Kigoma. Kigoma was the forest. Kigoma at the beginning of the time the Germans, not the time the Arabs. Ujiji was the center. The cemetery from Congo, from Burundi, was the start here Ujiji to left Bagamoyo. After Bagamoyo in Zanzibar. Zanzibar was the biggest of the market, the East Africa. Karibu. I welcome Mr. David. Karibu hapa. We enjoy the lake from the Lake Tanganika.
Yeah.
Okay, sasa missionary. My friend. Una haraka sana?
No.
Basi nilikuwa nataka tusubiri wale waje hapa. Nizungumze kwa pamoja. Okay?
To do what?
I want the way to this the visitors coming.
Oh, we have more visitors.
Oh, more visitors are coming. Okay.
Okay.
Mr. David
Yes.
Livingstone, I presume.
Yeah.
You said yes.
Yeah.
Made the Livingstone of the sick here at the mango tree long time ago.
Under the mango tree, which then stood here, Henry M. Stanley met David Livingstone in November 1871.
Okay, Mr. David.
Yes.
Sorry. Here, where you see this is the monument. Before this is the monument, was right there was a mango tree over Mankfella Spice, under which Stanley met David Livingstone. David Livingstone was born in a small town of Blantyre in Scotland, 19th March 1813. David Livingstone experienced the hard life, but he managed his study until he became medicine a doctor and a missionary. David Livingstone came to Africa first at different times. He first came to Africa in 1841. During this time, he just ended in South. When Dr. went to South Africa in his first time of exploration, he joined to the family of Mr. Robert Moffat, who had settled there. He married Mary Moffat, the daughter of Robert Moffat, Kurumani, in 1843. He raised two sons and one daughter. Unfortunately, his wife died of malaria at Shupanga in Mozambique. In 1852, he then sent his offerings to Europe for studies, children. His second journey to Africa was in 1859, where he traveled in Central Africa. It was at this time when Victoria Falls and the river Zambezi in Zambia. He then went back to Britain, where he addressed at Cambridge University. David Livingstone is very much remembered as some great explorers who opened the path to Africa for commerce and Christianity. This started from his own call. He made at Cambridge when he said, I quote him, I know that in a few years I shall be cut off in that country which is now open. Do not let it shut again. I go back to Africa to try to make an open path for commerce and Christianity. Carry out the work which I have begun. I leave it to you. The end of quoting his words. The last journey of that stone started from the mouth of the river Vuma in Michindani, Mtwara, in 1866. You know Mtwara? No. Mtwara is the South Tanzania border between Mozambique and Tanzania. He followed that river until he reached Lake Nyasa, as well as Lake Bangwero and Mweru. He then went as far as Manyema Range in Congo. There he met some of the slave traders who mostly were Swahili and the Arabs. Dr. Anson crossed the lake to Ujiji, where he established his temporary center. Temperance will make the tent here under the While at Ujiji, Dr. Anson traveled to various areas and then he back to Ujiji. Livingstone, he reached in Burundi, and Uvira, he returned back to Ujiji. Same time when he came to Ujiji, he found some of his items had been stolen, Arabs. It happened that Europe had not heard from Livingstone for about 3 years. Europe thought that Livingstone was dead. Therefore, Stanley said to look after Livingstone, dead or alive. During the hard day, Livingstone had no food and other provision, and he was resting in his tent. One of his servants came shouting, "A British is coming, a British is coming." Mzungu mwingine anakuja. No mzungu, you had mzungu. Livingstone raised his head, marvelous and curious. He saw a white man coming followed by his caravan. So he had to stand under the shadow of the mango tree, which then stood here. Stanley arrived and greeted Livingstone by saying, Dr. Son, I presume. Their meeting took place on 10th November 1871. After their meeting, they had a talk. Stanley had convinced Livingstone to return to Europe, but Livingstone did not agree. Finally, in December 1871, immediately after Christmas, they left Ujiji for Tabora at Kwihara. Livingstone was left there, and Stanley went back to the coast, where he bought some necessities and dispatched them to Livingstone. After that, Stanley he proceeded to Europe. In August 1872, Livingstone left Tabora for Chitambo in Zambia, where he met his death of malaria on 1st May 1873. After the son's death, there were 4 porters who had accompanied him in most of his exploration. These were Susi, Chuma, Jacobo, and Mangwana, Africans. They had to operate his body. They took out the intestines and the heart, and they put them the iron box. They had to bury it there. Then they to treat the body with the certain spices so that it could not decay. They had to carry it 1,500 miles to Bagamoyo. It would receive with the missionaries. You know Bagamoyo? You know Bagamoyo? Coast near Dar es Salaam. Then the arrangement was made to ship to Zanzibar and then to Britain. The boat arrived in London on 15th April 1874. After 3 days, he was buried in Westminster Abbey. The boat had taken about 1 year before burial. Dr. Anthony made the journey to Africa for the following reasons. First, he wanted to explore Africa, its rivers, lakes, and they took the Source River, Nile. Secondly, he wanted to make an open path for commerce and Christianity. Thirdly, because he had already seen the evil of the slavery, he wanted to abolish slave trade. This is the brief history about Kadebde. And this is the 2 mango trees. The graft in 1920 from the mango regional was up to here. This is the monument built in 1927. After his death, the mango tree. And this is the stones. The building this is the monument is from the Jericho, Jerusalem. Yeah. We have another. This is the small monument. Is Richard Francis Barton and John Hanning Speak came to Ujiji before Livingstone. Arrived here 14th February 1858. These were the first Europeans to see Lake Tanganika. On their way back to the coast, Speak, you see the Lake Victoria, and they had to name the Victoria in honor of the then Queen Britain, before calling Lake Nyanza. Yeah. Mr. Deputy, may here, you finished, you finished to take the picture?
Yeah.
Okay. The book we read Mr. Henry Morton Stanley. You remember this, the mother?
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Here the times when the Henry Morton Stanley were talking Stanley from this Livingstone to Europe. Put out the ribs so we kill the body. James William Barnett from America. Or the Guinea, the Guinea. Yeah. You stand in between, you only stand in between taking the picture?
So the slaves, they came from Congo, they were brought here to Ujiji, from Ujiji taken all the way to Dar es Salaam, and then, as you see in that map there,
Yeah.
and